What's the deal, you guys? What's the deal? This be your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday, and I intend on doing the exact same thing, you guys. What is going on? Now, we're here to get into some Real Housewives of Potomac tea, and that is with Candiace and Monique. Now, as you guys already know, Monique Samuels has returned to the Real Housewives of Potomac as a friend of the show. And being that she's back on the show, there has been a lot of questions about, her self-healing journey and things like that. But people actually want to know how she feels about Candiace. Now, Monique Samuels was on Watch What Happens Live, and she was asked this particular question, and she gave this answer. Let's get into it.
Like, we've seen that you've done so much work on yourself. How do you feel about your relationship with Candace, and do you see there ever being a reconciliation?
There was no relationship. And sometimes moving on doesn't mean that you have to reconcile. Sometimes you just see people for who they are and you know your place and you set your boundaries, and it's okay not to rekindle something that isn't meant to be rekindled.
All right.
Now, okay, so we gonna pop it off right there because she has some other things to say in a whole another interview that she did. Now, there was a whole lot of people being upset with Monique because of this particular answer. And I feel like when it comes down to Monique, people are committed to misunderstanding what she says and what she's trying to say. Now, when she said what she said about it not being a relationship, when she says, I don't think there was a relationship, there was no relationship between the two of them when they got into the fight. There really wasn't no relationship between the two of them. If you've been watching the show, you know that there was not a relationship between those two women when they fought. The relationship was over. The friendship was over. Candiace felt snake. Monique felt snake. They both felt betrayed by the other. And by the time they fought, it was a big boil over everything that has already transpired. So when she says that there is no relationship, that's really a fact. There wasn't a relationship between the two girls. Now, when she says that it's okay to not reconcile, it is okay to not reconcile. Let's be honest. Like some of you already know that I had a situation on Thanksgiving where I had this disrespectful back and forth with someone, right? And we had a discussion after the disrespectful scuffle that we had. But in my mind, yeah, we talked about it, and yes, we squashed it. But by all means, that don't mean that I fuck with that person. There's no need for me to reconcile. There's no need for me to have a conversation with this person. There's no need for me to talk to this person. There's no need. So in my mind, that's a dead issue. There's nothing more to talk about no more. So just because when you move forward from things, you really move forward. That doesn't mean you have to go backwards and be cool with people again. And I don't know why people are mad at Monique for saying that, because if we're gonna be real about it, Candiace don't want to fuck with Monique either. And she got every right not to want to fuck with Monique. Monique put hands on her on national TV. So if she says that she don't want to fuck with Monique, then she don't want to fuck with Monique. What's the big deal about that? I don't see nothing wrong with that. Set your boundaries. I do it all the time. What's the big deal? And if Monique don't want to fuck with Candiace, then she don't want to fuck with Candiace. Neither one of them needs to fuck with the other. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, y'all want Monique to be absolutely apologetic about this situation and things like that. It's kind of like she apologized at the reunion and y'all didn't take it. And I feel like if Monique apologized today, y'all wouldn't accept it. Y'all would say that the girl being fake. So y'all need to pick your poison on what y'all want from this girl. Because at the end of the day, Monique did do some slouch shit in the midst of that whole little situation between her and Candiace. She did do some slouch shit. She did do some bullshit. She definitely did. But at the end of the day, just like Candiace don't want to fuck with Monique, Monique is not liable to want to fuck with Candiace. She don't have to fuck with Candiace if she don't want to. The same way Candiace don't have to fuck with Monique if she don't want to. It's all the same shit. Now there's more to this. Now Monique did another interview, and Monique says that the deeper sense of betrayal came from Candiace rather than Jazelle, and that's why reconciliation was possible. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get into this once again. Let's listen in on what Monique had to say. Let's talk about it.
Moment from last night's Watch What Happens Live when you were asked about reconciliation with Candace.
Yes.
You managed to find it with Jazelle. Yeah. Why isn't there a chance for it with Candace?
Well, Jazelle and I never really had an off-camera relationship.
We didn't have a friendship that we were trying to develop off camera. So it's a little bit difficult when you're nurturing off camera friendships, and then when you get on camera and that person completely flips things or twists things and projects what they're doing onto you. It's like we had something that was supposed to be real within the reality TV space. So with that, Jazelle has always showed me who she was. So whatever she presented, I believed it, even if we bumped heads. So what I don't like is the double face. I don't like when you're showing me one way and then when you're around some other people, I'm always going to say the same exact thing that I told you in private. I'm going to say it in public, And I only can roll with people that are like that.
So there was a deeper sense of betrayal from Candace as opposed to Jazelle based upon the relationship that you all had.
Right.
A moment from last night's relationship that you all had.
Right. There was a lot of things happening off camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it could change if maybe she extended the olive branch? Does it have to come from her first, or?
Yeah, I just don't feel like every time when you go through something, there has to be this reconciliation that happens. I think that's why a lot of people stay stuck in relationships and friendships that they've outgrown a long time ago. At some point, you have to move on and just let it be what it is and learn your lesson from it and say, you know what, this sucked. We went through it, but I was able to grow from this. What were you able to do?
Relationship that you all.
Like, we've seen that you've done so much work on yourself. How do you feel about your relationship with Candace, and do you see there ever being a reconciliation?
There was no relationship, and sometimes moving on doesn't mean that you have to reconcile. Sometimes you just see people for who they are, and you know your place, and you set your boundaries, and it's okay not to rekindle something that isn't meant to be rekindled.
All right.
Okay, so that was Monique basically explaining why was it easier for her to be cool with Jazelle but not be cool with Candace. Now, let me go on and say this. Although I don't agree with that, for some people, it's easier to forgive a person that was never your friend to begin with because y'all was never friends, y'all never had a relationship, so the betrayal really was going to be betraying in the first place because y'all weren't friends to begin with. So therefore, yes, we can move on. We can make peace and do that, and we can be cool. For me, I don't give a fuck. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If I don't like you and you disrespecting me and you doing all types of bullshit to me, then I don't give a damn. Ain't no reconciliation. It's up, then it's stuck. Like, we ain't never going back. So I don't agree with that. I don't think that Jazelle deserves any forgiveness because Jazelle did a whole lot to you. She lied on your husband. Well, she lied on you saying you was fucking your trainer and that your kid wasn't none of yours. Like, that's a lot to take in and a lot to forgive. I would never forgive Jazelle. So a lot of y'all can sit up here and call me a grudge holder and all that other shit if you want to, but I would never forgive Jazelle. I'm just being real. I would never, ever, ever forgive Jazelle for any of that bullshit that she pulled with Monique. Monique a good one because I wouldn't be able to do it. Now, when it comes down to her feeling a sense of betrayal from Candace, if y'all want me to be real with y'all, and I know somebody not going to agree with that, with what I'm saying, but y'all know I don't care. I'm fine with having the unpopular opinion, and I'm fine with standing alone when I say this. Candace and Monique, they both are the reason for their friendship falling apart. They both are. They are. First of all, they both did bullshit. Candace sat there, went and told Jazelle that Monique said that Katie looked like Amistad. Why would you go and tell Jazelle, knowing that Jazelle can't stand Monique and all this other stuff? Then when Monique got to be cool with Ashley and stuff like that, you had a problem with that. And then you was being childish about that whole little situation when it came down to her and Ashley. And she said she felt like Monique used her as a ladder to get to Ashley, which I thought was fucking childish. If she want to be friends with Ashley, she can be. The same way you were sitting up here running around being friends with Jazelle and fucking Sharice when Sharice nor Jazelle liked you when you first came into the picture. Let's be clear. Then with Monique, you always bow down to Jazelle. You always wanted her damn approval. You always did whatever you could to be in her good graces. And she always gave you the hand. She always gave you, that's all she's ever given you. But you always tried to be close to her and always tried to be cool with her. And I never understood that. And you did kind of flip on Candace, especially early on in season 5. Like, Candace thought that y'all had talked about things, and then off camera, you was like, I'm sorry, but I had to get you. And Candace didn't want to talk to you no more. Like, you did kind of flip. And I feel like you and Candace allowed people like Jazelle, like Robin, like Sharice to come between y'all. Because just as much as everybody says that Monique wanted to be cool with Jazelle and wanted her approval, Candace wanted that approval from Jazelle too. That's the reason why she went in so hard when Jazelle did what she did to her. You didn't care when it was going on with Monique, but then when she did it to you, then you were mad. And Jazelle never cared for neither one of y'all. So I always felt like Jazelle was really the main culprit as to why Candace and Monique fell out. Now, they're both grown women and they can fend for themselves. But in my mind, I don't give a fuck. Both of them were the problem in their friendship. Monique wasn't perfect and neither was fucking Candace. And I'm sorry, but there really isn't no team to be on in this situation. Even with this physical altercation, the shit happened about 5 or 6 years ago. We can really drop it and let it the fuck go. Monique beat her ass. Candace was embarrassed. Candace filed charges against her as she should have. Took it to court. Nobody won the case. We can move on. Candace don't want to fuck with Monique because she put hands on her as a friend. And I understand that as friends, you should never get physical. So if Candace don't want to fuck with Monique, I don't blame her. I won't want to fuck with Monique either. On Monique's end, she felt like Candace was doing a lot of snake shit to her. And at the end of the day, she feels like she don't want to fuck with her. So therefore, she ain't got to. Y'all need to stop trying to force this shit. It's the same thing with Candy and Phaedra. Let it the fuck go. Them two ain't gonna never be friends. They ain't never gonna fuck with each other again. So y'all need to let it the fuck go and move on. Real shit. Move on. Move on. It's really nothing more to say and do. Move on. That's all I feel about it. So that's my unpopular opinion. Candace and Monique are both at fault. Candace and Monique both wanted approval from Jazelle and Rob, and both of them wanted that. And that's that. It is what it is. Candace ain't no victim. Monique ain't no victim either. The only thing that Candace is a victim of is a unwarranted ass whooping that she got that Jazelle should have got and that Ashley should have fucking got. They both could have made better decisions in their friendship. They both could have. So it is what it is. I'm not buying that whole Candace is victim thing. I'm not buying it. I ain't buying it that Monique is a victim thing either. Both of them full of shit and both of them deserve some discipline for what they did to Candy. And that's all I'm saying with that. So I don't know how y'all feel, but that's how I feel. So with that being said, you guys, today is premiere day for the Scene ATL. So make sure you guys tune in tonight at 8/7 Central over on Stylish TV. Yes, this has been a long time coming. We're all very excited about it. We've been working on this show since May and we finished filming in October. So we're very, very happy that this show is finally about to come out. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you guys go and pick up my book. That's Why You're Lonely is now available now on Amazon and Kindle Books. I'm sending out the rest of the pre-orders this week and next week. So be on the lookout for that. All right. So with that being said, you guys, this be your boy Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. And if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, you guys, your boys up out here, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Things I wanna do to you. All the love you try to hide. Deep in between those thighs. Ain't too proud to beg for what I want. Ain't too proud to beg for what I need. If it's good loving that you want, you can give